Rick just gave the chickens leftover worms. They went fishing. Takes me a while to fill up this little pond. Just filled up that water dish. It's already slightly muddy and a little bit gone, like the water level's down. I like the water to be deep enough for them to dunk themselves under. Ducks like doing that. This is the new garden I just put in. Found another plant that would be cool over here, but now I don't have room for it. But it looks fine, just has to grow in. There's so much stuff in this pond now that the ducks can't really easily get in and out of it. But when they did last year, they ate all the lily pads. We got no lily pads. And we had some other really cool little plants that they ate that I don't see coming back yet. One that has an arrowhead type leaf that's really cool and it flowers, and I don't see it, so we're gonna have to forage another one. It is the next day and you can see where the shade line is. So the front row of the tomatoes are getting a good amount of sun. They're not really shaded. It's kind of the same way in the chicken coop. The front's not shaded. So I came out here with the intent of picking chamomile. And you can see that they've gone to seed. They're all big old pollen heads with no leaves. So that's the stage when I pull them. And I really need this walkway anyway. So instead of harvesting chamomile from this area, I'm gonna pull them. Pulling the plants. Look how pretty. So it's not even July yet, and that corn has got to be 4 foot high, 4 foot tall. There's a puppy over here too. Pumpkin flower, pie pumpkins. I pulled the rest of the garlic, or what appeared to be the rest of the garlic from behind greenhouse 2. Got wet. These stakes I'm not going to need, so I could probably pull them. Peppers are starting to look good and sturdy. That's what I want to see. Oh my gosh, I do have a pepper. And I did not know this was a banana pepper. But it does have a tag. That's a sure way to find out what your pepper is. It has a pepper on it. Another big flower to the pie pumpkin. And what is this? I do believe this is a weed. So at this point I'm only pulling big weeds. I'm not pulling smaller ones. Last year I had ground cherries reseed in here and around the yard. This one's gonna get pulled too. I see a couple small flowers I can pull. This one's still standing up, so it's easier to pull a couple flowers off of it. But I'm gonna pull this one too. I have smaller ones around that haven't grown into this big bush. And those will take the place. But really, you're going to get the most chamomile if you pick it early. It doesn't do as well after the heat sets in. And a path opens up. So it gets hot and humid like this. This is when the weeds really go to town. This is when they're going to get big. This one's breaking off. The roots aren't coming out. But I don't really care. As long as the root system's not in my way. Not sure the variety of this weed. It rained, everything's wet. Which is fine, I don't have to water. Volunteer potato. Larkspur. Look how pretty. I like this color with the lamb's ear blooms. The colors go really nicely together. They complement each other. I love it. I had some black swan poppies along the fence. So there should be some in here. I see a pupper. There's one pupper that never got planted and it doesn't look happy. Throwing it out. Another big chamomile. One of those helicopter trees. Oh, I see another banana pepper. This is crooked too. I think I am the only one who has a problem with levelness. Look how pretty. Even without being painted, the antique vibe comes through nicely. We're talking about repainting it, but the antique-y part of it is charming, really. Chamomile. So my goal is to fill up this jar. Leave the lid off because they will go moldy. The ones at the bottom are pretty dry. I'll leave them start drying in the bowl before I dump them in the jar. But I did put the lid on too early once, and it got moldy and ruined all of my chamomile. So the lid will stay off for a long time. Probably won't cap it till winter.